Hi, I'm Don Ruthin with the Truly Nolan Training Department. Today I'd like to talk to you about the Truly Scape Grounds Enhancement System. I'll start out by talking about the different types of grass and some of the common problems we'll encounter, and then what we can do to help. You know, if used improperly, even this lawnmower can be your lawn's worst enemy. But we're going to talk more about that later. Right now, let's take a look at the different types of grasses. We can start right here with St. Augustine grass. You pull up a runner. Okay, this is a runner of St. Augustine grass. You can see the runner there and the blades come up. Okay, this is a coarse turf and it's known for aesthetic beauty, and also it's known as sending out the runners to fill in bare spots in areas that have been damaged. So I'll tell you what, while I go find a glass of iced tea, why don't you take a look at this? Some of the common problems with St. Augustine grass are chinch bugs, sod webworms, and fungus. The most common problem is chinch bugs. Young, very small chinch bugs, characterized by their bright red coloring, do damage by sucking the juices from the runners of the grass, causing it to turn brown and die. The adult chinch bugs are approximately 1/4 inch and are black with white markings, sometimes referred to as a tuxedo. The adult chinch bug's primary function is to reproduce. They thrive in warm, sunny, dry areas, often close to sidewalks or driveways. Their damage starts out as a yellowish spot that turns brown in the middle first and then works its way out in a circle. Our insecticide treatments, which can either involve a dry application or spraying a liquid pesticide, are designed to penetrate the thatch and keep the chinch bugs under control. Millions of dollars of damage is done each year by chinch bugs. Sod webworms and other insect pests do most of their damage at night between the spring and fall. The tiny immature sod webworm causes damage by chewing the chlorophyll from the surface of the blades of grass, causing them to look as if they need fertilizer or water. The adult webworms appear as a light brown to green worm with black spots and a dark brown head. They are approximately 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch long, and their damage appears as irregular patches of chewed grass blades. The grass will appear to have been mowed too short in the areas that are damaged. Silk webbing can also be seen in the grass containing bits of green droppings, and another sign is the appearance of small, 3/4 inch long, light brown or gray moths. These moths will dart around the lawn laying eggs. Our regular lawn program includes control of these sod webworms. Fungus is another common problem in St. Augustine grass. The two most common are brown patch fungus and gray leaf spot fungus. They are caused by too much water or thatch buildup in conjunction with stress on the lawn caused by mowing too short or a lack of fertilizer. Brown patch fungus affects the part of the foliage nearest the soil, disrupting the transportation of water and nutrients to the upper part, causing the plant to die rapidly. This usually occurs during warm, humid weather. The symptoms appear as a smoky gray ring on the outer edges of wilting grass. When brown patch fungus is present, never feed it by applying a high nitrogen fertilizer. Now, let's look at gray leaf spot. This fungus commonly affects St. Augustine grass, but is not as serious a problem as brown patch. It begins as spots smaller than a pinhead that enlarge to form circular or elongated lesions that are brown or ash-colored with traces of purple around the outer edges. In most cases, low nitrogen fertilizer use will control gray leaf spot, but fungicide treatments are needed for severe outbreaks. St. Augustine lawns should be watered anytime the blades begin to curl in from the edges, or if you notice the grass crunching under your feet, leaving footprints. Apply 3/4 to 1 inch of water early in the morning to allow the lawn surface time to dry. This will help to prevent fungus. The key to proper watering is to soak the soil 5 inches down. This will allow the root system to grow deeper and become more stable. The other common grass is bahia. Bahia is characterized by the blades of grass growing close together on a runner, giving the appearance that runners are not present. Each set of blades has its own root system. Although bahia grass is not normally as thick and plush as St. Augustine, when available, it is a better choice for high traffic areas and is also more drought tolerant. Bahia grass is known to become iron deficient after major rainstorms, characterized by the yellowing of the blades. The main enemy of bahia grass is the mole cricket. Mole crickets are most active in spring, summer, and fall, but will also show up in the winter occasionally. At maturity, they look like a 1 1/2 inch brown cricket with armor plating on their body and heads, and flat forelegs for digging. Mole crickets will forage deep in the soil during the day, eating roots and insects, and surface at night to eat the leaves of the grass. A sign of mole crickets are burrows 1/4 to 1/2 inch in diameter in short grass or in newly planted areas. In severe infestations, the lawn will have a spongy, sinking feeling when you walk on it, and left untreated, mole crickets can be devastating to a Bahia lawn. When damage is visible, allow the grass to grow taller to help with the recovery. Mole crickets are also very difficult to control after they've reached maturity, and control can normally be achieved only by baiting. No matter which grass you're working with, there is one common problem that is easy to repair: improper mowing of the lawn. Different types of grasses require different heights of mowing, but a general rule is that no more than 1/3 of the leaf surface should be removed at one time. Continually mowing the lawn too short can weaken the grass because the plant can't produce sufficient food and the stems are exposed to damaging direct sunlight. This weakening makes the grass more susceptible to damage by insects. Excessive mowing also reduces the root system. In addition to proper height, the mower blade needs to be kept sharp to avoid damaging the ends of the grass blades. Both St. Augustine and Bahia grass should be cut to approximately 3 1/2 inches high. This is normally achieved by setting the mower blade to its highest setting. The type of soil under the grass will also affect the mowing height needed. Better soil will support grass that is cut lower, and poor, sandy soil requires the grass to be mowed higher. All turf, regardless of the type of grass, should receive regular applications of fertilizer throughout the year. Research and experience indicate that frequent light applications is more desirable than infrequent heavy applications. The lawn should be encouraged to grow rapidly in the spring and fall, and slowly with a healthy green color throughout the remainder of the year. This is done by adjusting the mixture of fertilizer to best suit the temperature and rainfall of each particular region. One of the more difficult problems that you will deal with is weed control. The best way to control weeds is to not let them get started. Healthier lawns are less likely to be infested. Problems occur when the lawn is damaged and the grass is replaced with weed growth. We do chemical weed control of broadleaf weeds throughout the year with the exception of 2 or 3 of the warmest months of the year. The best prevention for weed problems is to have year-round maintenance program including insect control, fertilization, and proper cultural practices like mowing and watering. When tackling lawn problems, always keep in mind the 5 steps of Truly Care. Do a thorough inspection of the lawn, properly identify the problem, determine what you're going to do about it, do the treatment safely and properly, and finally, communicate to the customer not only what you have done, but more importantly what they need to do along the lines of proper mowing and watering instructions. Without the customer's cooperation, it is virtually impossible to provide them with a great-looking lawn. Well, keep up the good work out there, and I'll see you next time.